It is nothing but checking the correctness of a design. Why it is very important? We know that in the
Excuse me,
design
ma'am.
cycle, 70% of the time is consumed in the verification only. Okay, because if design is incorrect, we are liable to so many errors in the manufactured product. So the basic aim is we do not pass on a design with any kind of bug or any kind of logical incorrectness to the next stage. So based on that, it seems to be a very simple thing, but actually it is not in that simple process. That is why it is taking 70% of the time. So if we talk about our typical design flow, we know verification is part of the design process at every stage. So different abstraction levels I can have verification at RTL level, at gate level, at my layout level, at my product level. Everywhere I have to verify. Understanding verification, it is like कि अगर if I am going to, let's say we are going to organize an event, okay, and I have a committee. First is my, let's say, organizing committee, then we have my reception committee, then I have my welcome committee. So basically the data which is passing on from one committee to another, we have to verify that data is correct. So if the design flow it is going in this order, my verification it will go in the opposite order. It means product has to be verified before it is manufactured that layout is correct. Layout before it is manufactured, it has to see that net list and my timing constraints they are all correct. For net list to be correct, it is to be verified that RTL design is correct. So verification is, I can say, a reverse process which it is going in parallel with the design. Okay, so it can broadly be classified as a functional or physical verification. Functional verification, we all understand it is checking the functionality, that is whatever is the intended task. If I need to design an adder, तो वो add करे, दो bits को add कर रहा हो, whatever is, and that should be correct. It should be generating a correct sum and a correct carry, irrespective of what the input is coming, under what environment it is coming. So it should be doing that. Okay, so that is functionality correction checking, and it is specified in the terms of specification and implementation. अब वैसे तो हम ब्रॉडली फंक्शनल फिजिकल वेरिफिकेशन ही मार्क करते हैं, लेकिन एक टाइमिंग वेरिफिकेशन भी होती है. Now when I talk about specification, as we are designing HDL code, it doesn't mean that specification is not only that it is going to add 2 bits or what. See, from the point of view of a person who is a layman and he gives the specification to the industry that I want to design a calculator which works faster than the current calculator which is there. Let's say the current calculator is computing at the speed of 1 gigahertz. So that automatically imposes a restriction that the speed should be more than 1 megahertz. So that is also part of specification. So that ways I can say that my functional verification, it is not complete without timing verification. And only once the functional verification is fulfilled, we can go to the physical verification. So physical verification is more concerned with the backend activities. That is when my implementation part of the circuit it starts. Okay, that is the backend flow it starts. So how the layout is after routing, what is my timing, is it matching or not, is my netlist which was generated from the RTL, it is giving me the same functionality as the uh, netlist after this layout. So that is verification. So her stage pe I am going to compare my netlist or my functionality with pre and post. That is what we do. Pre-layout simulation, post-layout simulation. So those are part of the verification process only. And typically by physical verification, it comprises of your layout versus schematic. यहाँ पे वही होता है कि मेरा schematic जो है, that is netlist which is generated at the synthesis stage, that is not changed. The functionality is not changed after I'm converted that to a layout. DRC, that by all my widths, distances, those they are maintained. Okay, and logical equivalence checking. Logical equivalence checking is basically also, that is by logical correctness of the circuit pre-layout and post-layout, that is same or not. Okay. So when I talk about, here we are going to talk primarily about the functional verification. So for the functional verification, my verification methodologies, they are broadly classified as simulation based or formal verification. There are two methods for this. Okay, कोई भी टेस्ट मेथोडोलॉजी हम यूज करते हैं या वेरिफिकेशन मेथोडोलॉजी यूज करते हैं, उसमें एसेंशियली दो चीज होनी चाहिए. एक प्रोसीजर हैज टू बी देयर which is used for verifying the correctness, and other we have to measure it, how well it has measured the correctness. There has to be some quantification. उसको quantify करना है कि मेरा कितना मेरा circuit है which is verified and I am guaranteed that it is going to work correct. It is not going to give me some error. And for that, we are going to make use of hardware verification languages, not HDLs. The reason for using the HDLs is why we have to use the hardware verification languages, because HDLs में आपका जो है, the abstraction level is not as deep as I can say as in the HVL. And moreover, HVL को synthesize, her component may not be synthesized in the HDL. So there is a difference in the level of abstraction and the synthesis level. Okay, so that mandates that HVL always has to be different from your HDL. Okay, so we will talk about it later also. Moreover, whenever we are talking about verification, अब वेरिफिकेशन का एक तरीका है, लेट्स से मैंने हाफ एडर या फुल एडर डिजाइन करना है. अब जब भी सर्किट डिजाइन करते हो, टू डिजाइन अ सर्किट देयर आर मोर देन वन वेज टू डिजाइन. ओके, सो वेरिफिकेशन का मतलब होता है कि अगर मैंने कोई फंक्शनैलिटी कैप्चर की है, अगर कोई और इंसान भी इसको डिफरेंट तरीके से कर रहा है, एंड इफ दे आर कमिंग टुगेदर टू द सेम आउटपुट, that gives me a confidence that okay, my way is correct, because ultimately sum of 1 plus 1 has to generate a sum of 0 and carry of 1. So that has to be true irrespective of what is my design style or what is my way of designing. So agar verification language is different, it means by design engineer and verification engineer, they are going to follow the different paths. And since the paths are different, and if I am able to match the output, it means I have a better verification confidence of my design. So that was about HVLs. We can talk about it later. Now we come to is simulation versus formal. Simulation का मतलब क्या है? जो हम करते हैं, एक टेस्ट जनरेटर देते हैं. Test vector generator has to be there, and I have to apply that just as I do with the test bench. वो हमारा simulation based है. That is the top test bench way methodology which you are familiar with. Okay. Just a minute. So that is one methodology you are familiar with. That is simulation based. Okay. Simulation based के लिए आपको एक big problem is, suppose I have a 64-bit ALU I have designed. I cannot give all the inputs which are possible with the 64-bit inputs. That is not possible. So that is one problem with the simulation based, that until unless you are exhaustive with all the patterns which are there, same as in the ATPG. जो ATPG की problem थी, हम उसमें exhaustive testing नहीं कर सकते हैं. We only give stimulus for a selected input vectors and we are expecting that output should be correct. And if the output is correct, we assume that our design is correct. But when we are going to measure the, जो मैंने पहले बात की थी, like I told, the metric which is has to be there, I cannot guarantee 100% satisfaction of my verification with a limited set of inputs which have been applied. Okay, so these we'll discuss later. Because formal verification आपको शायद understanding नहीं है. Formal verification I'll just try to introduce. I am going to, let's say, introduce a property. For example, अगर associative property है, मेरी 64 inputs है और मैं मान के चलती हूँ कि they obey the associative property. So if I apply the associative property between the inputs, it means I have been able to cover the associative properties for all the inputs, and that since 64 inputs they would be connected with a different combinational and sequential logic. इसका मतलब मैंने जो उसकी internal nodes या internal functionality है, I have tested that also. So basically it is going to test the points or the nodes in my design with respect to a property. So one property can cover more than one point, and those points can be internal, points can be primary inputs. Okay, so that is what formal verification is. Formal verification में हम सीधा ये नहीं करते कि हमने इनपुट वेक्टर अप्लाई किया और वो देख, जो बिल्कुल हम एटीपीजी में कर रहे थे. सिमुलेशन इज एग्जैक्टली दैट. ओके, so we'll come back to this once you are having understanding. So we come to this simulation based verification. It is normally based on redundancy. Redundancy का मतलब है कि मैं एक से ज्यादा डिजाइन स्टाइल्स में अगर मैं बिलीव कर, आई ट्राई टू come to a particular logic, more than one way of implementing the way I told you, that is which gives me the confidence. Otherwise, it will not give me the confidence because I am only applying a limited set of input vectors. Otherwise, it would be too time-taking, time-consuming verification methodology. So the normal way which we are familiar with is test bench or applying the input stimuli directly, and then the output is compared to a reference output. अब जो redundancy है वो ये reference output में आती है. reference output क्या है? मेरे को पता है कि मेरा एक half adder मैंने डिजाइन किया है. half adder का मुझे पता है कि 1 + 1 should give a sum of 0, carry of 1. 1 + 0 bit will give me sum of 1 and carry of 0. So maybe I have a reference design which gives me this output, and I have designed by my own logic as a designer. So when they match, that is where the simulation is successful. So a comparator and a model for providing me the reference output has to be there in the simulation based verification, and that is normally carried out by our tools only. हम वो reference provide नहीं करते, वो मेरा tool कर रहा है already. Okay, before we are applying the stimulus, the thing which we are not familiar with in the whole process is, because we are doing very small designs, is that it needs to go through a linter program. There has to be a linter module or a program for removing the static errors. क्या होता है linter program? Linter program is nothing but it is used for checking the static errors. For example, suppose I am having a module. I have designed a module, or I can better give the example in the terms of VHDL. VHDL में मैंने एक component को design किया और मैंने उस component को instantiate किया है. अगर उसके port में difference होगा, port की types में difference है, so that error is actually already caught by the linter. So before I'm applying the syntax, the static errors which are existing independent of the application of my this input stimuli, those errors, they are removed by the linter program. Okay, so this is the typical structure of your simulation based verification. So it has to go through linting, which removes the static errors. Then we have to apply a test bench, or there has to be a test plan for applying the input stimuli. Then we go to simulation. Simulation has to be measured for its correctness, that kitni uski metrics, kitni uski correctness verification, how good it is providing me that verification. Coverage normally बाद में बात करेंगे metrics क्या होती है, code coverage और functional होती है. I don't want to, just understand the process. And based on this, I will give it a feedback. So the feedback again will generate a new stimulus that will take the input from a test plan, and that again has to be applied. So it is a kind of iterative process. Once I'm only satisfied with the coverage matrix, and side by side I have to go for removal of any bugs which are there. Okay, so that is there. So it is a kind of iterative process, not only in the terms of the vectors which are to be applied, but also in the terms of the design which I am improving. So the design which I am improving, that also has to be again rechecked by applying the test bench or the stimulus again. So this is here this. Now based on the test vector generation technique, सबसे पहले क्या आता है सिमुलेशन बेस्ड में, it has to go through linting. Linting process of removing the static error. Next is I have to apply a test vector or a stimuli. So how do I do that? There are two techniques for that. Either it can be a directed test approach or it can be a pure random approach. Directed का मतलब है I have a discrete plan for targeting that, okay, this area or this circuit is prone to these kind of errors, and my all one pattern will, let's say, cover this error, या फिर मेरा all zero pattern है ये cover करेगा. So that kind of thing. Okay, so it is directed. That requires a familiarity of the design engineer, of the test engineer with the design. So I can say we are aware of the design, and it is kind of more localized, because you need to know that this area is prone to these kind of bugs, and those bugs can be caught by these kind of test vectors when applied. Okay, so that obviously requires extensive planning. The ones in the red, they are the shortcomings or the disadvantages, and the one in the greens, they are the good points of this. Okay, so it has a high maintenance cost, because you need to maintain that knowledge, you need to maintain that storage of those test vectors which are going to catch a particular type of errors in your circuit. Okay, but the good point of this is that you need not have any extensive coverage coding. अब इसका क्या मतलब है, जब मैं मैट्रिक्स की बात कर रही थी, नॉर्मली हम वेरिफिकेशन के मैट्रिक्स में आइडेंटिफाई करते हैं कवरेज, कि मेरा कितना डिजाइन हैज बीन वेरीफाइड, हाउ मच ऑफ माय डिजाइन हैज बीन वेरीफाइड. So that is the metric which is measured, which measures the goodness of a methodology. Okay, so again coverage दो terms में हो सकती है, in the terms of functionality of the code or in the terms of code percentage. For example, मेरे पास 100 line code है of any entity I have designed, okay, or any circuit I have designed which I want to verify. Let's say I have applied a test bench to test and I got the correct results. Now results are correct, but I have to see कि इस टेक्निक को अप्लाई करके जो मेरी वेरिफिकेशन है उसने मेरे सर्किट के कौन कौन से पार्ट्स को, लेट्स से इट इज हैविंग 2 multiplexers, 2 adders, 3 subtractors. So it tells me, okay, it has been able to verify only the adders and subtractors. So it is able to verify 70% of the functionality of my design. So that is functionality coverage. And other thing is 100 line के बीच में से अगर मैं कहूँ कि मेरी 60% of the code has been covered, but rest of the lines 40% of the code is still left to be verified. So that is called your code coverage. So the advantage of this technique is, अगर हम apply करते हैं कि इसमें हमें अलग से कोडिंग के टर्म्स में मेट्रिक कैलकुलेट करने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ती. मेरी फंक्शनल कवरेज, बिकॉज इट इज लोकलाइज्ड, it already does the functional and coding alongside. Okay, and it only works well when by that is, since it is localized, so if that space, you can say, or that vector space is limited, it is very good in that. Next we come to pure random testing. Pure random testing में वही random approach है, random test vector generation है. So I do it randomly, arbitrarily. I may or may not get the bug which is caught. I may miss the fault. So that is thing. So there is lesser of user control. So that gives, it puts entirely on the automatic generator. So that gives me flexibility as a user, that I need not have that extensive planning as required in case of the directed. And another, so it is simple. Another technique which is coming from the combination of the two is constrained random. So it is a kind of balance between the direct and the random. Again, it needs some time to ramp up, because what I'm doing is I'm going for random generation, but then I have constrained it in some ways. Okay, let's say I tell that, okay, this pattern is not going to be repeated, all zeros are not going to be applied, all ones are not going to be applied. So that kind of thing. So pseudo random is one typical example of constrained random technique which is there. So इसमें अलग से आपको code coverage you need to have. So you have certain good points, certain bad points. So you have a better user control as compared to the random technique. But again, it will increase the complexity of the test generator, because those constraints, they will have to be defined by the user. Okay. So that is gives a good balance between the time, engineering time मतलब design करने का time, आपका test vector, और computation time. So दोनों के बीच में it gives a good balance. So this is one of the preferred methods. Next thing is, it can be both static and dynamic. That is, you can have the static random generator which will already generate and apply it in a sequence, or I can do it dynamically, updated as per my results which I get from the circuit. Okay. Now come next, after I've applied the test generation, next thing is I will apply those vectors. I will actually go for the simulation process. जो मेरी actually simulation होगी तब मेरे पास अब inputs defined है. Inputs define करने के 3 तरीके थे. That was random, directed or constrained random. Next I will go for a simulation. So simulation can be event driven, it can be cycle based, it can be hardware simulation based, or it can be hardware software co-simulation. So event driven you all are familiar with. I'm not going to emphasize so much on that. So in that case, जब भी कोई input change होगी, it means there is an event which is invoked, and accordingly I'll have to see my output. So I apply the input, I am going to check my output, and I have to verify that output is correct. So simple application जैसे ATPG में होती है, primary input apply करते हो, and that has to be propagated at the primary output. That is as simple as that. So not much of focus on that. Let's come to cycle based. Cycle based approach क्या है? Now cycle based approach, it is, I'll take one example. Take this example. I have 2 flip-flops and I have an XOR combinational logic between the two. Okay, so same clock, it is driving both the flip-flops, and I am assuming that 0 skew is there. Okay, so there is no skew problem is there. I have applied input 0 to my one input. This is a 2 input XOR gate. So one of the input is 0. Other input is coming from the flip-flop 1 with the output Q1. Okay. So अगर तो ये इवेंट ड्रिवन होता, इवेंट में आप क्या करते, आप डी फ्लिप फ्लॉप को कोई पहले साइकिल में क्या होता, डी को कोई इनपुट अप्लाई करते, वो Q पे रिफ्लेक्ट होती. Next में it would have been applied to Q, then it would have been applied to this and the zero input, and it would have computed Y. Then Y would have given as an input to D flip-flop 3, and then finally I would have got the output Q3 coming from this circuit. So कितने events हुए? जितनी बार मेरी input apply होगी, that is giving me events 1, 2, 3 and 4. So 4 events I'm having because 4 inputs are there. So then I'm going to get my output because I have to take care of the change of the input, every input which is getting applied to every component in my circuit. तो वो अब इसकी इनपुट जब चेंज होगी तो ये चेंज होगा तो इट विल गिव एंड सो ऑन. पर अगर मैं साइकिल बेस्ड अप्रोच यूज करती हूँ तो साइकिल बेस्ड अप्रोच में व्हाट आई कैन यूज इज आई कैन डायरेक्टली इक्वेट. आई नो अगर एक्सॉर, अब एक्सॉर का लॉजिक क्या है कि अगर दोनों में से एक इनपुट 1 होगी, मतलब they are different, one of inputs if they are different, output is 1, inputs they are same, the output is 0. So it means मेरी एक इनपुट तो 0 है, दूसरी इनपुट मुझे कहाँ से आ रही है? Q1 से. So जैसे Q1 से अगर 1 आएगा तो 1 and 0 would give me 1, and that is directly passing to D flip flop. So Q3 is going to be 1 only. ठीक है. So basically Q3 is actually equal to Q1. और अगर मेरी इसमें इनपुट फर्स्ट फ्लिप फ्लॉप का इनपुट 0 अप्लाई होती, सो 0 यहाँ पे आता, 0 and 0 XOR would have given me 0 which would have passed on to this. So what I have done is in my cycle based approach I form or I identify the cycle of the combinational logic in this circuit, which tells me that Y is always going to be same as Q1 and consequently Q3 is always going to be same as Q1. So मुझे पूरे चेन की वेट करने की जरूरत नहीं है. जैसे ही मेरी Q1 चेंज होती है एक ही साइकिल में, एक ही इवेंट में, I can predict that Q3 is also going to be 1. If Q1 is going to be 0, Q3 is going to be 0, Y is also going to be 0. So I have identified a chain or a cycle of combinational logic in my circuit, and I directly identify in a single event what my output is going to be. I hope this is clear what is a cycle based simulation. Okay. Next is your hardware simulation based approach. Hardware simulation में क्या होता है कि आप एक subsystem को identify कर लेते हो which is going to accelerate your simulation. So I need not use it, need not apply the simulation vector to that module. I'll just take one example. So this is my test bench. Let's say my design is having 3 modules. So in this I can directly map my module to a FPGA. Naturally my hardware, it is going to work much faster than what my software simulation it is going to proceed. Let's say module 1, then module 0, module 1 and then module 2. So I've directly taken out an independent module which can be done independently, and I put it to the hardware. That hardware can be any FPGA based we can say circuit, or that can be a special processor which can do that. So that is doing what? That is remove the burden of my software simulation and shifted that to my hardware. Since they are already proficient in doing those calculations, even if it is a special processor, चाहे वो FPGA हो, it will do it faster. So इसको हम emulation based approach भी कहते हैं. Typical example अगर हम लेते हैं कि let's say मुझे design करना है कोई what example? Let's say I have to design a weighing scale. मुझे एक weighing scale लेना है जहाँ पे I'm going to put some weight on my that. Normally what you find at the grocery shops. I'm taking that example only. So उस पे आप कुछ डालते हो, product डालते हो, and that converts and give you okay this is the weight. Internally you are going to make use of a microcontroller, something like that, which is going to and do some A to D conversion process and all that. So that LCD interfacing, all that is required. So let's say मैंने जो microcontroller वाला part है वो मैंने emulation में डाल दिया, ठीक है. लेट्स से जो मेरा इंटरफेसिंग है, एलसीडी इंटरफेसिंग है, उसकी टेस्टिंग है, दैट इज गोइंग टू बी डन थ्रू सिमुलेशन. जो मेरी इनपुट्स है ए टू डी कन्वर्शन है वो मेरी फिर भी सिमुलेशन में हो रही है, लेकिन जो मेरा कंट्रोलर वाला पार्ट है विच इज गोइंग टू सेंस कि ये मेरी स्पोर्ट से इनपुट आ रही है एंड दिस इज व्हाट आई हैव टू अप्लाई द लॉजिक टू गिव द और कंप्यूट द वेट दैट आई हैव टेकन, और उसको मैं एमुलेशन में मैं हार्डवेयर कनेक्ट कर देती हूँ, मैं अपने पीसीबी को कनेक्ट कर देती हूँ, माइक्रो कंट्रोलर वर्किंग मॉड्यूल को, और उसको रन करके डायरेक्टली आई कैन चेक. सो दैट इज हाउ माई हार्डवेयर सिमुलेशन बेस्ड अप्रोच इट वर्क्स. सो दैट इज मोर ऑफ emulation based approach.